That dead guy. That dead guy. That dead guy.
Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is December the 5th, 2025. I'm in a different room today because I'm covered in a blanket. I've got a sweater on. I was in Prince Edward Island training someone. So I've been there for the last 2 days. Today when I woke up, it was minus 26. And the heater in my car is not working for whatever reason. So I was driving around with, luckily I have a heated seat and a heated steering wheel. So that was the two things of heat I had. My feet were freezing. And when I finally got home, I jumped in a hot bath and then I had something to eat and I had a hot chocolate to warm me up. And now it's time to get some mail to you guys so you can see what arrived this week. There was a lot of stuff that arrived this week. We have one official Postcrossing postcard to get to here. We've got some surprises that arrived. And I even got something from Canada Post that I've been waiting on. When I arrived at my P.O. box today, they said it was in. So I will give you a preview of that. And we'll look at that a little bit more later on. We also have a limerick from Stephen in Australia and a dad joke from Joseph in Nevada. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, you put the notification bell on, and you hype if you can. Well, let's get started. We're going to start with the official Postcrossing one. It is this card here. It comes from the United States, comes from Idaho and Peyton. And she says her parents used to grow the most beautiful gardens ever, and her favorite were the raspberry bushes because they were gorgeous and delicious. I've got raspberry bushes in my backyard, and I 100% agree. I can't wait to eat fresh raspberries off them when they're in bloom, just like the blueberry bushes when they are ready to go as well. Hopefully I get to them before the birds get to them. Here are the stamps. They weren't canceled. Well, you can see, no, I guess they were canceled. There's the line that goes across. The one on the bottom wasn't canceled. But thank you so much, Peyton, for that. I really appreciate it. Happy Postcrossing. The next one is a surprise card that arrived from Australia. It comes from Caitlin. There is the card. And there are the stamps. And Caitlin says that she recently stumbled across my YouTube channel and enjoyed my post-crossing videos the most. She's watched the Canada. Let's try that again. I watched Canada's Xmas stamps video. They're absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, so there were some Christmas stamps that came out. There is one religious one, and there are 3 kind of winter festive ones as well. So that would be the U.S., the domestic rate, and the international rate stamps. So those are the ones I assume she's talking about, and probably even the Hanukkah one. They're all beautiful stamps. So that's great that she's been watching that. She says she likes traveling, nature, flowers, collecting stamps, and this postcard depicts the Wallace hut built in 1889, used as a shelter by cattlemen, and is the oldest surviving hut in the Victorian Alps. And she said, yeah, she got into sending cards through another site, but she decided to give Postcrossing a try, or is thinking we're giving Postcrossing a try, yeah. I think you should. I hope you do. It's great, and I love the washi tape around it, the decorations that are on there too. So thank you so much, Caitlin, for watching. I hope you get into Postcrossing as well, and maybe we'll hear from you again. I'll certainly send you a reply to this one. All right, let's get into some direct swaps, some things that have popped in. This one here is of Canada's national capital, Ottawa. That's the Parliament buildings, and this comes from Bob in Ontario. He was recently there for work, so he sent me a card. There is the stamp. Nice stamp. Really like that one. So thank you so much, Bob, for that. The next is an envelope. Has 3 stamps on it. And has a little Lego man from Saris Bay. You guys remember? Well, not that long ago, I got a card from this. It's a website, or it's a YouTube channel as well. Saris Bay. He does Lego videos and does all sorts of little scenes and stop motion action. He talked about maybe getting a That Dad Guy figure and putting it in his Lego town. It'd be kind of cool to see if he does. So just some Christmas greetings here. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you reaching out and the videos you're making about Lego. It takes a lot of work to put together scenes and things. So thank you so much. There, you can even see on the postcard the Lego Airlines, and he talks about a Lego Casino too. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, he's got a whole world he's created. All right, the next several cards all come from the same person. Maybe should be the Ross video. Well, we've got this card from Germany. He said he saw one game here. It was at 1860 Munich, who were second in the league at the time, now third in the league and play in a smaller stadium. But this is part of his stadium series that he's been sending of stadiums from around the world, not just soccer or football, but he's doing hockey arenas and baseball and American football, all sorts of wonderful things. So there's card number 1 that arrived. Card number, let's see if I can get them in somewhat of a geographic order here. Let's stick to the German theme. We have this nice hedgehog one. Haven't yet translated it, so those of you who are German speakers can translate it. Otherwise, I'll put a Google Translate over it later on. He said, yay, he found a hedgehog card. He says, my translation app won't work, so I hope that it's not something strange. So I can't imagine it's something strange. There are the stamps. Thank you, Ross. Another one, a Jason Statham one, doing a car commercial or an advertisement card. My wife, Shed, is a big fan of Jason Statham and the Transporter. So she appreciates the card. I do too. The next one is this one here. It's a Volkswagen card. He says, these were on display, free postage needed, free postage if you mailed it within Germany. He said, yeah, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to send it off to Canada. He didn't put any postage on. Well, the post office did put postage on it and sent it to me anyways. So he got to send this card for free. Thank you to Volkswagen and to the German Post. And then one more from Germany, a Christmas card from Ross. You can see similar stamps on all of them. And then he finds his way to the U.S. He says he visited the Navy SEAL Museum in Fort Pierce, Florida. And it's the birthplace of the program. I didn't know that. There's a stamp. And one more from Florida. This one here, Jensen's Beach, located on Hutchinson Island in Florida. Says it wasn't super hot at the time, but at least there wasn't any snow. And he said the surf shop that he went into had someone from Montreal that was working there. So had a Canadian, had someone from the UK, from Australia as well, and a local. So pretty diverse group. All right, so thank you, Ross, for all the cards and all the travels, thinking of me as you go. The next card is a Postcrossing meetup card. This one comes from Lila in Maryland. She said this one kind of fell through the cracks. It didn't get all the stamps of the people on the back, but she put her thing on it. I really like the image in it. So I really appreciate the card either way, whether it is stamped or not. It's really nice. Thank you so much, Lila. Oh, yes. This next card comes from Switzerland. I'm just going to cover up an address here. Comes from Regula, and it is a Lord of the Rings card. You can see Gandalf going up to the Hobbit hut, and it is a maxi card. There's the stamp. I really like the golden ring on there too. That's kind of the cancellation. And on this side, the stamp again, and we've got a hedgehog stamp, and we got a fairy tale stamp. A couple, just awesome. We've got a little polo down there. Star Wars as well. She says she's not so much into Lord of the Rings, but she bought the cards for those people out there like myself that are, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate this card. If you remember, Regula, she sent me one before that was through official Postcrossing, and it was awesome. It had Lego. It had all sorts of things that I like, gorgeous stamps on it, and so we decided we would start swapping cards. So I've sent one to her. She sent another one to me. It was my turn to send back again. Very creative. I love doing that. So thank you so much, Regula. The next card, Cleveland Rocks. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. This comes from Debbie. She says she lives only about 10 miles away from it, but has not been because she finds it's too expensive and too many people. Well, I can get that. There's the diagonal washi tape and the forever stamp that's on there too. So thank you so much, Debbie, for that. And one day, maybe I'll get a chance to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'd really like to. It's a very cool shape, and to see some of that memorabilia. When I was last in New York City, which was a few years ago now, they had a guitar exhibition on at the Modern Museum. So you could go in and see like Paul McCartney's, one of his bass guitars, or a Jimi Hendrix guitar, one of the many Jimmy Page guitars, that sort of stuff. It was really cool. So I can imagine seeing all the different, maybe like a Tina Turner outfit, or who knows, at the Hall of Fame would be pretty cool. All right, the next card from Dubai comes from Andre and Merritt, and they were traveling once again. So we got a scenes from Dubai, and the stamp, really nice gold stamp there. So thank you so much for that. Oh yes, this one. This comes from Ambre in France. You see all this on here. She is getting near time to have her baby. I heard from her earlier today, and the baby's due on the 28th of December. I wonder if it will be a Christmas baby or not, but fingers crossed that everything goes well with Ambre and her baby and her boyfriend, and that it's a joyous Christmas for all of them. Maybe lots of good food. She talks about she was going to have a raclette. And look, this is one of the new croissant stamps from France. What's special about this stamp? It actually smells like a buttered croissant. Have a smell. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Maybe you can't, but if you do get one, they're awesome. And when I picked it up today, I saw the stamp. I told the staff that was working at the post office, I said, you know what's special about this? It actually smells like a buttered croissant, and they each took turns smelling it. So I thought it was really funny that they did that, but it's an awesome idea. I know there's been some other ones that have done it, but that is the latest and greatest, I guess. All right, the next thing is a little envelope. It comes from Christian in Australia, and we have a little bit of a Christmas greeting, and it pops up. So we got kind of a 3D greeting. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for continuing to watch the videos and send things in. Really appreciate it. There's always interesting items that you get a chance to send. Speaking of Christmas greetings, we have one from the Unicorn Gang. This comes from Lewis in Spain, and just make sure once again here. Lewis, you put this amazing stamp, or super cool. This is a nice stamp too, but this one really grabs my attention. Wishes me Christmas greetings. There's no unicorn sticker. That is a must between the Unicorn Gang. So we'll have a talk about it. I'm talking about the Unicorn Gang. I know I've gotten messages from people saying, when are you meeting? Who are the new members? We're having our meeting tomorrow, Saturday morning, before my live stream at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. The Unicorn Gang is getting together to discuss and pick 4 new members. I believe we have 9 applications, so it's going to be a tough process to whittle it down, because all the candidates are great. But only 4 can join this time, and then we'll probably open it up to another one early next year, which if you've already put in an application, I think you probably qualify. You won't have to do it a second time. So thank you so much. All right, the next card I have comes from San Diego, California. It comes from Liz. It almost looks like a hand-painted card. Really nice. She says it's finally cool enough to call it autumn in there. Yeah, you kind of rub it in. We've got snow outside now, and you're just talking about autumn in California, but that's the joys of living in California, I suppose. There are the stamps. So thank you so much, Liz. Enjoy your autumn. The next card comes from Jessica, and we have greetings from Maryland. It says, what's it say on the back? Hope this finds you well. Love watching your YouTube videos at my desk while I'm at work. Also love hedgies. She had 3 as a pet. So I've never talked to Jessica before. She's just watching the channel. There's her stamp. If you'd sent your address, I would have written you back. But hopefully you comment on the video, and I assume you're in Maryland, because this is Greetings Maryland, and there's no cancellation on there. So can't go by that too. So when I first saw it, I thought, oh, I know a Jessica, but I don't know a Jessica in Maryland. So thank you so much for that. Or at least I don't think I do. Maybe I know you by a YouTube name instead. Okay. The next card comes from Germany, even though it is, hold on it. Once again, cover this up. This one comes from Germany. It comes from Thomas. He says, thank you so much for the beautiful stamps that I sent him. That's good. Hopefully you'll find a good place in his collection. And a beautiful, Berlin is beautifully lit up for Christmas right now. Imagine it is amazing. And there are the stamps. I've just covered up his address. So thank you so much, Thomas. Enjoy your Christmas lighting. Okay, the next card I have came in this envelope. Comes from Austria, and it comes from Anita. Anita sent, "Are you ready for Christmas?" This little tiny card says, "Christmas is coming fast. Wishing you a joyful season." So thank you so much for that. Am I ready for Christmas? Pretty much. I mean, we don't have a tree yet. We're not decorated inside the house. So yeah, we have all that to do. We've decorated outside. We've begun Christmas shopping already. So presents are starting to come in. So I feel like we're doing well on the 5th of December. We still have a lot more to do, and we're still waiting for my daughter to come back too. Now, she didn't just send this. She also sent this meetup, Martin's meetup. And she says she's been attending a meetup again after a while. It was about St. Martin, who was celebrated on November the 11th. A patron of our region. So there are the people that were in attendance for the St. Martin's meetup. And I guess St. Martin's Day is the same day that we celebrate Remembrance Day here in Canada. The next couple all come from the same person. We have a train card. Maybe you can guess. This comes from Eric in Hong Kong. There's a nice cancellation on that one. And he also sent this nice card. He said he finally took the high-speed rail to get here, and then says it's changed quite a bit since he was a kid. But look at the beautiful stamps on the back. Thank you so much for that. And he also sent this, which inside of it has this. Best wishes. So we're getting ready for the holidays. There was a nice letter in there too. I won't read that, but thank you so much, Eric. And our thoughts and prayers go out to all the people in Hong Kong that were affected by the huge tragedy of the high-rise fires that took place. Many deaths and affected a ton of people. I know Eric went and put a few videos on of people going to the memorial site too up on YouTube. So thank you for doing that and kind of giving us a glimpse of what's going on there. All right, the next is an envelope. It comes within Canada. It was not canceled. There isn't a cancellation on it. There isn't a return address on it, but I know it comes from a Desiree. So Desiree, if you're out there watching, let me know. And got this nice card. I love my hedgehog. Best friend's a hedgehog. It says, "Thank you for the informative videos. It's like I have a world in the palm of my hand. I really appreciate you watching." So it's another one of these surprise viewers. And she included some hedgehog stickers, which I definitely can use because I put hedgehog stickers on everything that I send out. So Polo's bit of fame. I seem to think that Polo might be even more famous than I am. And that's all right. He deserves it. So we got lots of really nice hedgehog stickers. And when I talk about on Wednesday's decorating, I asked people if I should put a small hedgehog or a large hedgehog on the cards. These would all qualify as large hedgehog stickers because they take up a little bit more real estate on a card. I've had some of these same images in small form too. I get mine off Temu. I'm not sure if these came from Temu as well, but thank you so much, Desiree, for watching and for sending those. The next envelope I have comes from Ida Marie in Washington, D.C. There are the stamps. A bit of pen cancel through Elvis. Nice decorated there. Inside, we have a autumn folded card. And it says, "Robert, stamps for the 200th broadcast. Indiana just celebrated state anniversary." So I won't show you those yet. I'll show you those in the next week thing. They're right there. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, the 200th celebration, well, every Saturday, I've been doing a live stream at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. No matter where I am in the world, I do one. And my wife knows that too. And tomorrow's will be number 199. So on December the 13th, it will be our 200th live stream of it. And people have been sending in gifts because we're going to do a giveaway. So the people that are in attendance on the live stream on Saturday, December the 13th, get a chance to win some cool things. And so I'll show you what that cool thing is that Ida Marie has added to it early next week. All right, the next thing is this envelope. And this envelope arrives from Monty and Violet in Saskatchewan. And inside of it, there was this tennis card, or from Fiji. So I hope this letter finds you and your family well. Violet and I were in Nipawin yesterday, which was around November the 26th, and they visited a Salvation Army thrift shop, which is like secondhand items and things, and found some things, including this magazine. So he wanted to read it, and then he sent it on to me. So we have this stamp magazine that came out in 2013. So we'll have a gander at that later on. Maybe I'll show a couple pages of it next week when I'm showing the items that Ida Marie sent. Now, what should I do next? Okay, let's do this amazing item. This box showed up. And this box comes from Ed in Ottawa. And it is jam-packed with items. I've opened it. I haven't gone through everything yet. But to give you an example, there's this packet. And it is filled with stamps. So I believe next week we will do a video, and it will just be about this box because there is so much stuff in it. I have to give it props. Now he says, I mean, there's some postcards and things in there too, but these are stuff for my collection. There's stuff to help with giveaways that I've been doing. And once again, the generosity of the people in this community are amazing. So many people reach out to ask, you know, well, what's next month's theme? Or in 2 months, what's the theme going to be? Because they want to help provide items. Not necessarily win the giveaway, but know ahead of time so they can mail things in for the giveaway. So I've gotten to the point where I don't even have to produce a bunch of stuff myself for the giveaway because you guys have already sent it in. And people like Ida Marie that send it on a regular basis. Debbie in Ohio sends things in. Liverpool Stamp sends things in. Stephen in Australia sends things in. And I go to stamp shows and find some stuff. And then mystery boxes like this, or from Ken in Australia, or Stephen in Montana, Michael in Toronto. There's all sorts of these people throughout the years have been just randomly sending things, and I appreciate it so much. So we will look at that further in the future. Now, let's get to the limerick from Stephen in Australia. He does this every week. I really appreciate it. He's gotten to the point, he used to mail them like 4 or 5 of them at a time, so I'd have the whole month's worth. And then we got into, because of the strike, I still wanted to have stuff. And he still wanted to produce stuff for me. So he started emailing me the limericks, which I think's worked out great. He usually does it, so I get it on Thursday. Maybe it's his Friday morning when he sends it, but I get it Thursday night. So thank you, Stephen. And let's read this week's adaptation. All hail mighty Canadian postcard king and Canadian emperor of the realm of stickers and washi tape. Your most esteemed majesty, the town soothsayer called in to remark that the moon had increased its size by a quarter, which can only mean that another week has passed, meaning that once again, it is time for Friday fun and frolics. I therefore most humbly submit the following to amuse your good self, to inform the ignoble nobles, to educate the gallant knights, and to confuse and confound those pesky peasants. This week's personage was a man who was somewhat less than keen on the thing he is most noted for inventing. Without it, however, modern life may very well grind to a halt. Therefore, without further ado, may I submit the following for your enjoyment, irradiation, and enlightenment: historical legendary limerick number 48, Alexander Graham Bell. Alex Bell, he invented the phone so that he'd not be alone. He phoned up his mum, who was feeling quite glum, but she just didn't like his ringtone. Very cute. Fun fact about Alexander Graham Bell. Number 1, he invented more than just the telephone. His inventions included the metal detector, the photo phone, which transmitted sound on a beam of light, and a device to find icebergs. He experimented with flight, working on heavier than air flight, and helped guide one of the first controlled airplane flights in Canada. He also invented the hydrofoil, a boat that could skim across the water at high speeds. He wasn't a big fan of everything he created, though he wouldn't have a phone in his personal study as he found the vice intrusive. Number 2, his mother and wife were both deaf, which deeply motivated his lifelong work in deaf education and the study of speech and hearing. And number 3, after the telephone's patent, many people claimed to have invented similar things, thus leading to over 600 legal battles. Imagine inventing something and then other people wanting to take credit for it. Bonus fact number 1. When he died, every telephone in North America was silenced for 1 minute to honor him. Try doing that today. Imagine a whole minute without your telephone going off. Bonus fact number 2, the unit of sound measurement, the decibel, was named after him to honor his work on sound and speech. I didn't know that. And now that all that is left for me to do is to wish you and the noble viewers and perhaps any peasants who may be lurking around nearby a wonderful weekend. With very best wishes, Peasant in Chief, Steve in Australia. Thank you once again, Steve. That leaves me to 2 things left. 1, Joseph in Nevada has sent in by Instagram message this week's joke. Last week, we missed it. He sent one in, but it went in disappearing messages and disappeared before I got a chance to write it down. So this is what we have this week. And nobody take offense. It's just a joke. What do you call a Frenchman who was attacked by a cat? Claude. I know the word's Claude, but Claude works out great. Thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate the jokes every week. Now, there's one last thing. I went into the post office, and the people at the counter said, you've got an item here. The 2025 first day cover box has arrived. I'll show you that in detail later on. I'm still waiting for the year in review book. They are out, but my local post office doesn't have one yet for me, so I'll wait for that to come, and then I'll show you both of them at the same time. I think that's the best thing to do. All right, that's it for today. I'm going to get this video edited under my blanket and get it out to you soon. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a magical week. I mentioned at the start of the video that I was in Prince Edward Island working, and while I was there, I got a chance to see my friend Kyler, and he's always generous whenever I show up. I just want to visit him, but he always gives me extra things. There's some extra postcards, mostly about Prince Edward Island, but there are a few other places in there too. So thank you so much for that. I just saw something else on it. So yeah, anyways, there's a card in there that has rating to Kyler on it. I think he gave that to me by accident. I'll send it back to him. He also gave me a packet of stamps. He was working on African countries and gave me some African stamps. Those are always great to have because they're not easy to find. And then he went out of his way, maybe not out of his way, but it amazes me. I really like Bhutan and some of the amazing stamps they've put out. Well, he gave me this one here. It's a bit of a 3D stamp, or stampsa. There's 4 of them there. So souvenir sheet, if you will. I won't peel off anything off there. That's amazing. So I got a chance last time I think I was there. I did a video with him. He showed a little bit, just a glimpse of his postage stamp collection, and I know people said, oh, we want to see more of it. Maybe I'll get a chance to go back and show you some more. That time I wasn't there about filming. I was just wanted to have a visit with him. So thank you so much, Kyler.